It's been a long time since I updated with infertility and all that comes with it. I think that it just becomes too much sometimes, so breaks are needed, and just the monotony and the uncertainty of every cycle can be a lot on your emotions. So it's been a while, but I'm back and I feel good. I can't even remember where I left off, honestly. Ooh, it got dark. Sorry, there we go. I can't even remember where I left off, but I think it was round 2 of Clomid, if I remember correctly. So round 2 of Clomid did not work, and I was out of the country for cycle 3 of Clomid. So I skipped that cycle. That was in mid-July. Skipped that cycle. Started back up with blood draws, another and a mid-cycle ultrasound in August. Also on Clomid, so 3rd round of Clomid in August. Everything looked normal, which was great, but also like everything looked normal. That Clomid cycle did not work. I actually started my cycle this month on my birthday, so that was fun. Anyways, throughout the whole, I think probably for about a month now, I think I've been feeling a certain way. We'll get to that in a minute. So I don't think my heart nor my mind was in the right place during the last round and cycle. So in August. So this time in September, it's September 26th right now. This time for September, I knew that we being my doctor, myself, talked about getting the HSG test. It's kind of a test, ultrasound, I don't really know how to describe it. We decided that, or we had talked about getting that done after a couple failed cycles with Clomid. And I was super nervous about that because, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of my friends, like close friends, some of my best friends have gone through that test. And all of them said it was horrible. And who actually wants to cause themselves pain? Like knowingly, who wants to go through pain? Unless there's a great result, i.e. labor and delivery. But I did not labor or deliver anything with this HSG, so I was dreading it. I was afraid of it. And like I said earlier, my head just was not in the right space. Like, I was not in my spirit, honestly. I did not feel like Clomid was, that I was supposed to take Clomid this cycle. And I was afraid to voice that to my husband because, I mean, you have to revisit the conversation all the time with your spouse when you're going through infertility, just because it's just so many emotions all the time, all over the place, and you kind of have to make sure you're on the same page. So I had the HSG. No, I was supposed to. I had a telehealth visit with my doctor. My husband was able to be with me because it was telehealth, and we just kind of discussed next steps and what we wanted to do. And my husband and I decided fairly early on in our infertility journey that we did not want to pursue invasive modes of getting pregnant. So we both decided that we did not want to do IUI or IVF just for personal reasons. And the doctor was like, okay, well, then we can continue to do Clomid, and if that's as far as you guys want to go, we can do it for a couple more months. Great. But even then, when we had that conversation, I still just did not feel at peace with the decision to take Clomid. So I had the HSG test done on cycle day 7. So like almost 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. Thank goodness that people prepared me for it. I think I had prepared myself for the absolute worst. And while it was an uncomfortable situation and a very vulnerable situation, for me, it wasn't terribly painful. It was just uncomfortable. So praise the Lord for that. I was so nervous. But also, the horrible part about it is there were 2 doctors doing the procedure, because one was like, well, they were both doctors, but one was new to the facility, and so he was learning just how the facility did everything. So there were 2 male doctors performing it, and for them, I realized that it is their daily job. So it's just kind of routine, which made it a little cold, let's be honest. The doctor that was training, he was very kind and very patient and as understanding as a male could be watching or performing, I guess, a procedure like that. Then there was, I don't know, I think she was maybe an x-ray technician, and she was also training someone. And so there were 4 people in a really tiny room with huge equipment. And they make you take a pregnancy test for obvious reasons before the procedure, but like, come on. Of course it's going to be negative, so it's just like another negative test that you have to see. And then they ask you a series of questions, and it just, revisiting all of that is not the most fun. And then the actual procedure itself, you're just so exposed. And for me, I just felt, well, you're half naked on a table, first of all. And then, I don't know why, and one of my friends warned me about this, that it happened to her, but she said she just started crying when they were doing the procedure, not because of the pain, but because of all the emotion and the roller coaster that is infertility. All of it just came crashing down. And I remember her telling me that. And I didn't cry, but I did when I got in my car, just because it's just like, really? This sucks. I have to go through all of this just to, I don't know. It just sucks. So I did that test, and it was normal, which I'm so thankful for. It's kind of just, another checked box, basically, of normal, which thank the Lord. So we are still categorized as unexplained infertility. Anyways, it's going to be so long. So this cycle, I decided with my husband, we both discussed it, and I did not pick up my prescription for Clomid. I did not have any blood work done, just the HSG, which was enough. And I kind of was feeling in my heart that I needed to have the conversation with my husband about pursuing adoption. So we talked about adoption on our first date. we were not playing. We talked about a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't talk about on a first date. But our dating and engagement, every marriage was 9 months total. So, and we both knew we wanted to adopt, and we both knew that we would. We just don't know when. And so I voiced to him, like, I can't do this anymore. The roller coaster that it is, it was more of the hormones I just had a difficult time with. And I just, in my head, could not imagine taking Clomid again. Or any type of medication for any type of fertility medication again. Like, it made me, I don't know, I just could not do it. So I told my husband that, and he voiced the same thing, and I was like, what? Wow, God, thank you for allowing us to both be on the same page at the same time, because I was nervous. Like, I was just nervous. And so we were like, okay, timeline, when are we going to start the process? So we were like, okay, we're going to the beach in a couple weeks. So we were thinking, let's just talk about it while we're there, discuss everything, and then when we get back, we will start that process. Well, God clearly revealed to us, very clearly, that he wanted us to say yes right now. So the consulting agency that we are using, they stop approving applications. They still take them all the time, but they work with clients. So they were going to take a pause until the new year. So applications were due by October 9th. Well, we were going to the beach October 11th. So we decided, you know what? Why not? Why not now? What's today versus a couple weeks? So we talked to a few people, met with our pastors, talked to the agency, had a phone conversation with them, and as of Friday, we turned in the first paperwork. I mean, there's going to be so much paperwork, but we started it, and now we wait. There's still a lot of waiting, and a lot of, not fear, just nervousness surrounding the whole thing. But we are confident that this is the direction that the Lord has called us to take, and we are super excited. Just like being happy for once about like thinking about the future and thinking about babies, just being happy instead of sad. Getting to share happy news with people is super exciting, and just dreaming about what our baby will look like, and if it will be a boy or a girl, and how are we going to decorate the nursery and everything. It's just kind of exciting to think of all that and be happy, and that's where we are. So this was super long, but here we go on the adoption journey, and obviously the infertility journey will always be a part of us, but we're so excited.